Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I am here to tell you what are all the tips for you to plan your trip to the Atacama, the incredible Atacama Desert, a trip that needs a lot of planning and a lot of important tips. It's one of the destinations that we saw more essential and crucial tips because it's not such a simple trip in terms of planning, in terms of health. There are several points that you have to consider in your trip, but rest assured that here in this video we'll punctuate the main ones, so they will be very quick tips, useful and with no winding up. So guys, don't forget to like the video. Liking the video is very important, so don't forget to give us the like here, subscribe to the channel because that helps us a lot, and buckle up. Well, Atacama is located in Chile and it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. It's a surreal trip. It's really worth planning this trip. It's very cool, very different because it's a natural beauty unlike anything you see in other places. It's a really extraordinary deal. You have to do this trip if you already have the will and the interest and are researching, but it needs a little more planning because there are many things, details. The tours are not so easy. It's not like a city in Europe or in the United States where you go there, walk through such and such a square, go to such and such park. No, there are several specialized tours: mountains, the South Desert, the location, where to stay, health. There are several things that you need to organize, so this video will focus on the tips. We also made a video of where to stay, what to do with all the coolest tours there. Take a look at this one, it's very good. Then you'll be able to organize what to do because there are many tours. You have to plan accordingly. They are all incredible. Take a look at it later, but this video here will help you a lot with all the tips and general planning of your trip. So if you want to know more, take a look at the other videos. So to begin to understand Atacama, this whole Atacama region is in Chile, way up there, because Chile is very long. It's up there near Argentina, Bolivia, Peru. It's in that northernmost region of Chile. How do you get there? That's the first point. Why? First, you have to take a flight to Santiago de Chile, which is the biggest airport in Chile. You will get many flights. There are plenty of flights. This route is very easy to get and find good deals. And then arriving in Santiago, you have to take a flight to the Calama airport. It's the one in Calama. Why am I saying this and reinforcing it? There's the San Pedro de Atacama airport, and many people get confused and end up booking this airport, but no, because the city that you will be locating in Atacama to have access to the desert and the tours, it's called San Pedro de Atacama. That's the name of the city. So people think the San Pedro de Atacama airport is the closest, but they buy there and it's not. It has nothing to do with it. It's much further away, so forget about it. So you need to get to the Chile, to the Santiago airport, and from there buy a ticket that goes from Santiago to Calama. It's a quick flight, 2 hours. There are companies that make the flight very cheap. We have already paid $20 a ticket, so it's not expensive. It's an international flight from Chile, so it's very easy, but you have to plan all this travel. You go to Chile, get off there, then take the plane, go to Calama. When you arrive in Calama, you get off and you have to take another transfer to the city of San Pedro de Atacama. It's 1.5 hour trip, but it's very quiet. Some people choose to rent a car. Those who are very adventurous and want to do some things by car can rent there at the Calama airport and go to San Pedro de Atacama. It's a trip that's not so complicated, but what most people do is take a transfer. Why is that? Because the car in this kind of trip, you're not going to use it that much, because to do the nice tours in Atacama you need a specialized agency. You can't almost do them with your car. It's very dangerous. You need a lot of knowledge. It's in the middle of the desert, so you need an agency, so you won't use the car much. What most people, 90% of the people do, arrived in Calama. There are several transfers that leave directly from there to San Pedro Pedro. There are several companies that have vans. You will spend around $10 one way and $10 to return, so it's not expensive. And you take the van. There are several that leave, because if you don't, sometimes you can wait there for 2 hours, you will lose another 2 hours of travel. So you take a look when you arrive and you will see that everybody's there talking to the salespeople. You ask which one is leaving first, you get it, and that's it. In an hour and a half you arrive in San Pedro de Atacama. So you see how there are a lot of logistics, so you already save 1 day of your trip because you lose a lot of time with all this traveling. And then you arrive in San Pedro, you have to adapt, look for a hotel, check in, so it's a whole day of travel until you can relax and organize all of your things. So you have to pay attention to that, and going with an agency, it's way more secure. Now, talking about adaptation, this first day when you arrive, this is an important thing. This is a tip that I found, one of the most important, and that many times people do not talk about it, but it's important to know. When you get there, the city is at a very high altitude, 2,400 meters above sea level, so it's a high altitude. Our body is not used to it, so you need a whole day to adapt your body. It's not a joke, guys, it's not nonsense. This you really need. So reserve the first day for you to do the more relaxed tours. They have the tours that they call initial tours, which are the tours you can do that don't have the high altitude, so you will already be at a high altitude, so it's not higher. So you do these tours that are the Moon Valley, is very nice. It's a tour that we highly recommend. It's a very quick and you can do it in half a day. And also the hidden gaps in Baltinashi, which are beautiful. It's a beautiful scenery. There are 4 tours, but these 2 that we think are the coolest, you can either do both in the same day, or you can do one day one, another day in the other, just to give your body that feeling. You will realize that you will get tired. Some people get a little bit sick. People who have respiratory problems, cardiac problems, need to be careful. And there's an important point: the children. Many people want to travel with their children. When the children are very young, this kind of trip is not advisable because it demands a lot from the lungs, from the heart. So the children's bodies feel it a lot, and you, even if you go with your children, you decide to go, you talk to the doctor. There are tours that children can't do because they are too high, they demand a lot from the body. So it's a place that requires planning, psychological and body training for you to be able to enjoy the trip. The tours and what to do there, I won't go into detail here because there are many nice tours. Watch the video. I'll also leave here at the end of this one the video of what to do and all the tours in Atacama, which is very nice. It will help you to delimit which ones you will include or not. But one thing will make clear here: for example, these are the initial tours. There is another tour that's sensational, which is the Geysers del Tachio, which is very cool. The salt flat routes and corkscrews. I'm mentioning that here because they are in the more punk category, more hard, because they reach 4,500, sometimes even 5,000 meters high. So it's much more difficult, and you can only do this after a day or there, after you have done some of the initial tours. So just to get you more or less organized in your head and to know how it works, because it's really different planning than the other touristic cities around the world. When to go to Atacama, how the seasons work, it's nice, it's well distributed there. There isn't this high season thing like in the Snow Valley. Everybody wants to go in June, July, August and September because of the snow. No, it doesn't rain there almost the whole year. In the summer it rains a little bit more, which is in December, January, more or less, but it doesn't rain much. It's nothing that would hinder the trip. And during the year, all the seasons are kind of appropriate. There isn't a bad time, but of course there are better ones. If you go in the spring and in the fall, they are the most recommended because of the weather. You will get a little bit milder weather, not so cold and not so hot, which are the months of March to May. September to October are the best months, but still another tip: you have to be prepared because there the thermal amplitude is absurd. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and it's very cold, and in the afternoon it gets really hot, and at night you freeze again. So always be there with a coat, with clothes, prepared for these climate changes. And for those who don't know, we are now with our new channel, the Lorenzi Family channel, here on YouTube too. It's a channel where we show more of the day-to-day life here in Brazil, of us visiting the parks, going out with the girls, American life, us here at home, food, you name it, a lot of different things. It's a more relaxed channel about our lives, so check it out. Subscribe to it, watch the videos, that I think you're gonna like it too, so subscribe there. Now another tip, you can see that we are talking a lot about the issue of health, of the body. It's important to have travel insurance, and today, because of the pandemic, travel insurance has become mandatory to enter Chile. So you have to have travel insurance, you have to have COVID coverage, those are the requirements. As soon as the pandemic passes, they say they're going to drop the requirement for COVID insurance, but the travel insurance will continue to be mandatory. For those who don't know, travel insurance is very cheap. It's very cheap to get one compared to the coverage. It's not that it's very cheap when you compare, because the coverage is for whatever you have. Problems with medical assistance, loss of luggage, luggage theft, it has millions of coverages and very high value, and the value of travel insurance is cheap, so we highly recommend that you take out insurance so that you won't have any problems at immigration. As soon as you arrive in Chile, that's where they will check all your documentation. The tip we give, use the travel insurance comparator, don't go directly to the insurance companies. I'll leave the link here below in the description. It's a very good site. It's a company that compares travel insurance with all the insurance companies, the best ones. There are only good companies registered, so you can rest assured, and it finds the best prices. He quotes for you which are the cheapest insurance, which are the best, and you choose and do it on the spot. It's much cheaper than doing it directly with the insurance companies because they have a very big volume. It's a very good negotiation. It's a sensational site. Take a look there, you will like it. We always get medical assistance coverage from $30,000 upwards, lost luggage from $1,000 upwards, but it depends on each person. Take a look there, it's super easy to understand the site. All the companies there are good, you can quickly hire one and guarantee. For those who are thinking about renting a car and want to venture in Chile, I'll leave also a site that's similar to this insurance site, but it's for cars. So it's a comparator that compares all car rental companies and shows you the prices. How many days to stay in Atacama? This is a question that many people ask. In our opinion, first you have to book 2 days, which will be the first and the last day that will consist of the trip. So disregard these 2 days and set them aside for the trips that you will have to make to get there and back. And then apart from these 2 days, we think that you should have at least 4 days. Of course, if you stay 3 days or 2 days, it's worth it. You will see incredible places and it will be super worth it, yes. But if you can choose to plan your trip, try to stay about 4 days, because one day you will do these initial tours and then on the other days you do the other tours, which are full day in the sense of full day, the entire day. This full day means that you will spend the whole day on each tour, so 4 days would be 1 day with 1 or 2 initial tours and the other 3 days with full day tours. So try to get at least 4. If you can stay 5 days, it's good, but these 2 days would be perfect, but even better talking logistically. So I think these 4 days extra are going to be the best. A tip I always give who hasn't been to Chile yet, Santiago is an amazing city. I loved it. I think it's the city in South America that I really liked the most. I thought it was beautiful. The tours are very nice. There are also many tours in the mountains, the snow valley, and Balsarieso, the shopping there, the malls. It's very nice to eat. I think it's a beautiful city in general. If you can do a little more things, stay a few days in Santiago. If you can stay 3 or 4 days in Santiago and then go to Atacama, because you have to go there anyway to take the flight to Atacama, try to book a couple of days there. And now the tip for the tours. There's a place that you need a specialized agency to help you to do the tours. There you see that the city doesn't have much tourist structure. The streets are very simple, the hotels are simple. There aren't those giant hotels, nothing. It's another thing. The one in the middle of the desert is a much more humble structure, but it's great. It's super comfortable. You feel super good there. They are super welcoming. The people there are really nice. But just to make you understand what the place is like, there's not much air conditioning because there's almost no electricity, so it's kind of a different place but really rustic. And there you need the advice of someone who understands and does things. So you need an agency to do these tours, to get into the mountains, into the salt deserts, into the lagoons. You can't do it alone. There's a very good agency that we use it. They are Brazilians, they are a reference there, they do all the tours. The guys are great. I recommend it with my eyes closed. I'll leave the link here below in the description of the video right here, and you click there and fill out the form. They already contact you by WhatsApp and they help you with everything. It's nice that they help you plan what are the tours, where to fit which tour. They even have tips that you can even imagine. A very cool tip that made the difference in our trip is the lunar calendar tip. When you go to the Atacama Desert, there's a nice tour that's beautiful. You have to do it. It's called the astronomy tour. You see the sky and you see the pictures on Google. They are beautiful pictures of the sky, all starred. It looks like a planetarium. What happens if you go on a day when the moon is big or it's half full? You can't see it because the moonlight clears up the whole sky and spoils the stereo landscape. So the tip they give you is to look at the lunar calendar. They give it to you, then you plan with them the day that the moon will be practically not showing up, then you can see everything. These are tips from people who are there and who understand the subject, who are experts, who will be able to help you better. So use an agency, do it with an agency. This agency is very good, they're attentive, the service was great, the van, transportation, and everything. So where to stay in San Pedro? This is very important. A tip, it's not so big there. You see on the map that the tourist center is not so big, but you have to stay there concentrated near the Caracoles street. Just Google it and you'll see. It's a main street. You have to stay there because there are hotels farther away for better prices. The tour vans don't pick you up in some places that are farther away. So this is super important. So you have to stay in a more centralized area, closer to the Caracoles street to make everybody life easier. We created a very cool personalized map, which is the one you can see here on the screen. I'll leave the link here below in the description of the video as well, so you can go there and open this map. You close it, put the date of your trip and put in search and click there to show the map again. Then it will open the map, the same map with the hotels already in your travel date. You can see the location of the hotels, the price and the rating, and there are some filters that we have already programmed because it's a site that's the largest hotel searching engine in the world. It's where we always make our reservations because it has the largest quantity of hotels, the best prices, it's the safest one, so we always use it. So just click there and you see that you will be able to search for hotels in this central street. And a tip, people, to save money because it's not that cheap, you will see that the hotels are simple and a little bit expensive because it's a matter of demand. There are not so many, it's not allowed to have so many, so you end up having to pay a little more to stay in those hotels. The golden tip to save money there is to book in advance. The sooner you book, the cheaper you really pay. That makes a lot of a difference, and we like this site because they have free cancellation with most hotels in. So if you like it, you have a nice one, book the date. If you have free cancellation, make a reservation quickly and that's it. You guarantee the best price already. If later on you need to change the hotel, the location, the date, you cancel, it's a click. There's no bureaucracy at all. You don't pay anything, but at least it guarantees, because prices go up very fast. So as soon as you can guarantee it, the better. We'll also leave the link here to the hotel we stayed at, which I thought was sensational. A very good hotel, well located, good price, good service. People always ask, where do you recommend where I stay? I'll also leave the hotel link below in the description of this video for you. And when I say in the description here under the video, you click, there will be a little text that I put, you put on show more, and the whole description of this video will open. There I always leave organized all the links for you to plan your trip in each of these sites. There's also the travel chip that we use, which is the easiest and cheapest way to use your cell phone abroad. There is the agents link, that are links to the tours, airline tickets links where we search for airline tickets. Anyway, it's a step-by-step for you to set up your whole trip in the places we use and think are the best, and always, of course, the cheapest option. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel, because that really helps us a lot. And be sure to watch the other videos that are very good. I'm going to highlight the one about the Atacama tours, which is sensational. It will complement well with the videos you've watched, and the playlist, of course, that has all the other videos from Chile for you to watch. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much and have nice trips.